Hey everyone, Rick here, and it is time for an unbelievable unboxing. This is from Iron Wind Metals. Now I hate the word epic. Honestly, I do. I think it's overused. But if you noticed, I did use it in the title of this video. Why? Because if there was ever a time to declare that something was epic, it would be the contents of this box. So anyway, I got a checklist here. This is from the Chaos Wars 2 Kickstarter from Iron Wind Metals. And I am just going to go through this box, make sure everything's here, and show you what truly classic, legendary metal miniatures look like. And maybe some extra special bonus material as well. So here we go, folks. And this is a heavy box. Again, these are metal miniatures. Okay, I gotta make sure that I'm not throwing anything around, because it feels like there is something in here. So here we go. The first figures. And I'm gonna have, it's almost a game for me to try to identify which figures are which. Now, I absolutely found these figures truly, truly special. Now, these, I believe, are the Undead fairies. So they are small, little fairy figures, but they are undead. So you might notice the holes in their wings, maybe a little skeletal structure. Oh my gosh, these are just too cool. Let me see if I can get one out. Because that is exactly what these are. Little skeletons with rotten fairy wings. Let's see if that'll focus at all. Can you kind of see that? How cool is that? When I saw that there were going to be undead fairies, I said, yes, give me some of those. Okay, next up we have, and oh man, I don't even know. I just got so much stuff in here. I'll probably have to go through it later to make sure that it's all there, but, because I'm not exactly sure what this is, unless that's the SKU there. 98293. I don't want to take up the entire thing looking through this list, but it looks like that is the case. And I do have the SKUs written down, so I will just look through those later. But anyway, inside of this looks like there is just some standard skeletal footmen. And oh man, these guys look so cool. Even just a basic skeletal soldier just looks awesome. Gosh, I love it. There's a whole bunch of stuff in this pack. I'll keep it all together because I think, I don't know, maybe this was all one lot or something. But here we have, yes, some grizzly bears led by a dwarf. We have some, looks like some skeletal hounds. Oh, love it. And the last thing in this first little package are some skeletal bowmen. Oh, yes, folks. Here we go. Just love it. You can obviously use these figures in a Chaos Wars game or just in anything you ever want to use figures in. A dungeon crawl, you can do your RPG. If you don't like some figures that came with a board game, you can swap them out. So that was that first pack. Now here's a whole nother pack. Some of these are individual figures. What are these? I have no idea what these are. But they look really cool. Oh! Was this the pack of like sorcerers or necromancers. I thought there was a pack of some kind of wizards or something, but that's kind of what they look like. But there's a lot of these, but they're individually packed. So I'm not entirely sure. There's like a little skeletal warlord or something. Look at, can you even see the detail on these guys through the plastic? Because I have to say, that looks pretty darn cool. Look how cool that guy looks. I want to make sure I keep everything that came in a bag together. But I mean, this entire bag is full of this stuff. Here's a whole lot of, looks like dwarves. I don't think they're undead dwarves. I think these are dwarves of the living, just in various attack poses. More dwarves. Some more of these individual dwarves. Here's probably a dwarven lord. This may have been like a war band or something. Because I did get, what did I get? A starter pack. I got a Chaos Wars expanded starter pack. Is that what this whole bag is? No, that was the first bag. Was the whole expanded starter pack. But here's some skeletons. Maybe this is even more of that kind of thing. I know, I'm just rambling at this point because it is just too cool. Here is a whole bunch of skeletal cavalry. So you got the undead skeletal steeds and also their skeletal riders. Awesome. So I'm making piles over here off cam to make sure I keep everything together. Ooh, this is a box. There is something really special in here. This may be it. Yes, it is. Oh, guys, take a look. Witch's Cauldron. No! This isn't from the 70s or 80s. Hold on one second. This isn't from 1980. This is. But this is a reprint. Are you kidding me? When one of the stretch goals was to reprint this and then also possibly Caverns Deep, I pretty much lost my ever-loving mind. But that's exactly what this is. Ralpartha, a division of Iron Wind Metals. Yes, here we go, folks. Reprinted Witch's Cauldron. That is from 2016/17. This is from 1980. Do any of you remember the old original Witch's Cauldron with the lead figures? How cool is that? And just coming back with the boxed games. Love it. Oh, so hyped about that. Now we got some boxes here. What could be in this little box? Ooh, here we go. What in the world? Yes. This is a whole set of these still in the blister pack. Because they're brand new, there was a pledge level where you got to name the warlord. And how awesome is that? You got, what, 10, I believe, of these still in the pack figures. And then there might be one in here, I think, that is unboxed for you to paint yourself if you wanted to keep them in here. And these are signed and numbered, each one. That is just too awesome. And that's probably the rest of what is in this package also. And it actually looks like there's more. So it looks like there's 12 total of these figures. Undead Warlord limited edition figures. How awesome is that to have a named figure in a retail blister, several of them. That is just too cool. Now, there's a lot of printed materials here. In this envelope, these are cards and reference sheets. So, and this is all for Chaos Wars, the mass miniatures game. So you can cut these out. Spell cards and reference sheets. Just excellent. Love the additional printed materials. And this is an entire pack of printed stuff. So let's see what, and I mean there are so many books here. Obviously, book 8. What is this? This is book 8. Oh, so this is a campaign book right here. Dwarves versus the Undead. I'm just going to have an amazing time flipping through that book. There's all sorts of books. Army building rules. This first book was game mechanics. There is another campaign book. This is legendary scenarios, personalities, and additional material. That is going to be pretty darn cool as well. I'm just going to have to spend 1,000 hours flipping through all this stuff. And next up we got Armies of the Chaos Wars, Book 6, and Book 7, Army Building Tools. And this one's a nice spiral-bound book. And this has all sorts of different figures that you can add to your army with all their stats and abilities. And folks, that is just the tip of the iceberg. These are some kind of beastmen. 98,429. 429. I don't know. I'll have to look it up later. But they look like some kind of beastman or something. I mean, that looks like a grizzly bear. There's all sorts, and there's like a wolf man in here. That is just all sorts of crazy beasts. This is a whole pack of, oh my gosh, I love this. Love this to death. This is Gnoll Warcat Cavalry. You heard that right. These are gnolls on warcats saddled. So Gnoll Warcat Cavalry. How cool is that? Oh my gosh, I love that. And then what are these? This is some other kind of cavalry. This is the dwarf grizzly bear cavalry. Oh my gosh. What are we at? Almost over 14 minutes already. There is just a ton of stuff here. There are more undead. Oh, this is scenery. This looks like some kind of graveyard scenery. Yeah, obviously, graveyard accessories pack. So you're going to see lots of tombstones and other creepy things in there. This is some kind of pterodactyl cavalry. This is like some kind of wraith, flying wraith cavalry. Very cool. I mean, there's just packs. It is never ending. I don't know the exact number of miniatures that are in here, but it has to be in at least 1,000, right? Who are these guys? Here is another pack of just, I mean, there's some dressing in there, but it looks like there's some wizards in there. Eventually I'll go through, because the SKUs are written on all of them. So I will eventually identify what all this stuff is. That looks like it's some kind of adventurer's pack. I know, looking through plastic baggies is not the most fun. More skeletons. More undead. It looks like archers. I think I did get... Oh, I love this guy. He was one I think I added on. Right? I think I did. Wizard casting spell. Yes, that is him. This is a single fig. I just love this guy. The classic pose, wizard casting spell on his little base that he comes on, has little trinkets on it. Love it. And this is just awesome. This is the Undead coach. Some assembly required. You got the gigantic wheels, but the thing that stands out the most is probably this gigantic skull piece right there. Awesome! Whoops. Oh man, I don't even know. What is this? This is some gigantic undead mount, and the base is covered in skulls. That is cool. There's another one. Is that the same thing? Because look at, there's a clearer shot of that base. Just awesome. Oh, this is another awesome pack. This is the skeletal. Oh, those other guys may have been the skeletal Pegasus cavalry. These, and I gotta take one of these out. Because, well, I mean, I love all the figs, but some I just love more than others. Like the skeletal centaurs. Are you kidding me? That is just too cool. Centaurs, but skeletal. Obviously complete with their bases, and in some of these packs there have been these little rolled up things, and yes, as I thought, these are the various weapons and shields and things that you can equip them with. So that is excellent. Love the customization that you can do with these kinds of figures. And I mean, it's like you just went to the meat department of your grocery store and you got a 50-pound box of cutlets. Because here's another pack. Who even knows What is inside of this one? Good grief. What is this? The Throne of Bone or something? It may be, because there is a chunky base, and these guys are just crawling on top of each other. So obviously this is some special unit. And then more packs of Undead. It is never ending. Good Lord, there is just so much stuff in here. These are more. Oh my gosh. Are these the scarecrows? I think this is. Because I mean, there's just a ton of stuff in here. But these guys have like pumpkin heads. So they're like, oh, look at this. Holy cow. This is some kind of gigantic dragon. And it has actual chains with some, it looks like crew. So that's just unbelievable. These are stapled together. These must be the dwarven, what is it called? Ornithopter? Dwarven ornithopters. Those crazy Da Vinci looking machines. Love it. More packs of, looks like wraiths or undead. Aha! Here is like a sorcerer's wizard's den dressing accessories. Awesome. And another pack. Good grief. Looks like more skeletal centaurs. I know I did get a lot of those. This is, looks like an undead dragon. Oh, are these gnolls or are they just beastmen? They may be gnolls. Infantry. I just always love the kind of, those kind of figures. Here's more undead cavalry. It's piling up out here, folks. Gosh. I gotta move fast. So, oh, more undead fairies. More skeletal centaurs. This is a whole bunch of coffins and bones. Aha! I did get this. The Stegosaurus. That is going to be a Stegosaurus. One of my favorite role-playing games of all time, one of my favorite RPG video games of all time is Wild Arms. And one of my favorite enemies to face in that game is Devanova, which almost looks like a demon Stegosaurus. And so that's actually why I got that figure, so that I could see about recreating that. And my gosh, there's a ton of stuff in here. This is some other kind of crazy dragon with swirling features. And then just a bunch more undead. And some kind of big spider. I think we're finally coming to the bottom of the box, which is good because if this video goes over a half hour, my camera splits it into 2 videos for some reason. I have no idea why. What the hell is this? This looks like, oh, Like, this is definitely some kind of maybe Titanic undead cavalry, because there's several of these bases in here. And those wings look pretty skeletal to me. And there's 2 packs of those. Oh, wonderful. This is the Dwarven airship. So yes, Dwarven crew, some engine components in there, and then this big round bulging piece is the big hot air thing. So this is the final piece of the puzzle. And what are these? These looks like some crazy Frankenstein beasts. Tree Man, yes! I love just the idea of the trees coming alive. So there's one of those. Didn't want to get too carried away with those. More skeletal centaurs. More gnolls. Now these are definitely gnolls. Maybe the other ones weren't. No, maybe they were. But these are definitely gnoll infantry. And this is... looks like treasure. There's a little skeleton hole. Yeah, treasure vault accessories. So, barrels, chests, actually, maybe no barrels, just chests, gold piles, and this little undead skeleton guy holding up some treasure. So, let's take a look. One thing I do have to say that is missing, maybe it's coming on its own, are t-shirts. I also got 2 t-shirts. They could still be on their way, but otherwise, just the mass of metal and rules and everything is just so insane. Look at all this. I try to keep them in piles as to how they were wrapped so I can go through this list really quickly while I still got time. I've shown these off in other videos, but I also did get the 4 posters that they were offering. So there's Wave 2 poster, and here is a poster showing from the Wave 1, the elves and the orcs and goblins. Here is a promotional poster for that. And, of course, a nice Chaos Wars poster. So, after all that unpacking, there's a lot of miniature identification that now needs to happen, which I will dive right into. So everyone, thank you all so much for watching. This was really exciting. Can't wait to crack open that new Witch's Cauldron also. Thank you, and until next time.